Patrick Mahomes is trying to reach GOAT status, going for his third straight Super Bowl win. He's the top of the top. Then there's everybody else. So who's elite in this convo? Dan, you're up first. How many elite quarterbacks are there in the NFL?
Well, I don't use elite, Molly. I'll say 9, though. But the phrasing I use is 9. The phrasing I use is
9? 9? Did you just say 9?
This man hot.
Oh, my God.
9. So the phrasing I use, or the way I describe it, is quarterbacks you win because of. There's a high amount of quarterbacks that teams win with in the NFL, but because of, and it's broken down into 2 different places. There's 9. The 2 guys that were tough to leave off, both Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. Jordan just got to see a little bit more. I think he's right on that verge. And then Jalen, I just want to see what he looks like this year, coming back in with Kellen Moore as his play caller, 3rd offensive quarter in 3 years. Win because of is broken down into 2 separate things. 1, we win the game even though our defense gave up a ton of points, whether it's 26, 28, 30. Like, we find a way to win more often than not because of you. Or we're hurt on offense, we're missing receivers, or, our offensive line's beat up, and but we find a way to win the game because of you. Those are the 2 kind of the criteria that they're put into, and I think there's 9 of them.
Good Lord.
Who's going first?
I'll
Taking
go.
it?
I'll go.
You go.
I'll go, Shannon.
Go ahead, Stephen A.
I'll go, Shannon. Good Lord. I just need to pray for Orlovsky. I mean, sometimes. And then when it comes to the quarterback position, we have to remember we have an obligation to tell our audience, because, see, I love Dan. I love Dan. We all love Dan and stuff like that. I mean, it's genuine love here. You understand what I'm saying? Some haterade out there for him. And he ain't got no business doing that. But we got love for him. But then he has moments like this. And we have to remind it that Dan has a very soft spot when it comes to quarterbacks. He's not objective. He's not objective.
Does.
Dan want to sprinkle roses and any walkway that quarterbacks walk through. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. 9 great quarterbacks.
I need to see the list again. Can we put the list back up?
Who you want to take off?
Patrick, listen, excuse me.
Yeah, let's
let me
look
tell
at
you what I want to put on.
Let me tell you
what I want to put on. I'm going to sit up there and I'm going to put on Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to put a 2-time league MVP in Lamar Jackson. We can't ignore the stud that is Josh Allen, because when he's not going against Mahomes or Burrow, he'll beat up on everybody else, okay? And I'm going to put Aaron Rodgers in there as just resume. Matthew Stafford is great. That's your brother. I know how much you love him. And he's a Super Bowl champion, and I know he can ball. But damn it, he was in Detroit for years. Okay, don't get me started with that.
Yeah, that's on Detroit. That's not on Matthew Stafford.
That's not on him.
That
But
is on
he was a
Detroit.
part of it. He was a part of it, though. That's on Detroit.
He did have Calvin Johnson, though.
But that's true.
Okay, but Shannon, come on.
Come on now. He did. All right. Brock Purdy, you just got onto the scene. I need longevity. C.J. Stroud is a stud, but I need longevity. I need to see you do it again. I need to see you do it. No one-hit wonders on here.
But really, the only issue, Dan, really, that I would say is Brock Purdy. I'm not sure about. I know that he gets it done, but I don't know if he really has
I'm not putting no 8 quarterbacks up there.
He has that talent. Everyone else on there.
No.
Absolutely.
Can I see that list again?
So you're not putting Joe Burrow up there, Stephen?
I said Joe Burrow. I said Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else got something to prove.
Brock Purdy.
No,
who's gone
you got
to
something
the
to prove.
NFC Championship game and then the Super Bowl. He was sensational in the Super Bowl, and he's taken Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Stop 1 second, Dan.
Stop that.
Stop 1 second, Dan. All I'm saying is this. I'm not saying they haven't shown they can be elite, but to qualify and classify them as elite, I need a lengthier resume. That's all I'm saying. There's a difference. Go ahead, Shannon.
Dan, stop this. Brock Purdy was not sensational in the Super Bowl. He played okay, but he wasn't sensational. He was not. And there's never been 9 elite quarterbacks in the NFL. Never, ever, ever. And we're not, listen, at some point in time, you can still remain friends with these guys and still tell the truth. I got 4. I got Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, and Josh Allen. Aaron Rodgers was, but I'm going to need to see it, Stephen A. And you said I'm going to put him in there because of his resume. But I'm going to need to see him get back to the level. I look at it, and Dan, you gave a lot of good points. I want to see a guy that can win the game because and not rely on other aspects. Okay, great, outstanding defense. I look at a guy, if we don't have a running game that day, I need Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I need Joe Burrow. I need Patrick Mahomes. I need Josh Allen to go win the game. And bro, you might get 20 yards rushing. That's all I got for you today. I might need you to outgun somebody. I believe the 4 guys that I named can go do that. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers once upon a time, but he is a lot older and he's coming off a significant injury. So that's the only reason that I left him off, was because of the significant injury and the age, and I haven't seen him play of the year. But and I'm like Stephen A in this aspect. I'm gonna need to see more than 1 year. I've seen a lot of guys do something great for 1 year, but I need to see a more extensive body of work. C.J. Stroud, he's definitely trending in the right direction. He's a stock I would purchase. Jordan Love, he's a stock I would purchase. But man, you got to stop this notion talking about 9 elite quarterbacks. There's never, ever been 9 elite quarterbacks at any juncture in the NFL in the 100-plus year history. Never, ever.
Well, my pushback to you, Shannon, would be I'm of the belief that I think this is the most talented the quarterback position has been, top to bottom, that the NFL has ever had. Now, I'm only 41 years old, so I'm not going to talk about what the quarterbacks were all like in 1970 because I wasn't around watching it then. But I do think that we have more talented quarterbacks physically.
The NFL is not just a league, it's a battlefield. Every Sunday, Warriors step onto the field, but only a select few rise above the chaos to be crowned elite. In this unforgiving arena, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen are names that make headlines. The quarterbacks who carry the weight of their franchises on their shoulders. But with greatness comes pressure, immense, unrelenting pressure. This season, the stakes couldn't be higher. The expectations are towering, and the margin for error is razor thin. Who will soar and who will falter? Patrick Mahomes, the king under siege, Patrick Mahomes isn't just another quarterback. He's the face of a dynasty in the making. With 2 Super Bowl victories and MVP titles to his name, Mahomes is chasing the ultimate prize, GOAT status. But being on top makes you a target. Every team in the league is gunning for him, dissecting every play, every throw, looking for a weakness. The Kansas City Chiefs are no longer the underdogs. They're the team everyone is desperate to dethrone. The pressure on Mahomes is suffocating because anything less than another Super Bowl victory will be seen as a failure. Can he lead the Chiefs to a 3rd straight championship, or will the weight of expectation finally bring him down? Lamar Jackson, the electrifying enigma Lamar Jackson, is a phenomenon, a quarterback who can turn a broken play into magic in seconds. But for all his regular season heroics, the postseason has been his Achilles heel. Critics are ruthless, questioning whether Jackson can lead the Ravens deep into the playoffs and ultimately to a Super Bowl. The pressure on Jackson isn't just about winning games, it's about silencing the doubters who claim he's not built for postseason success. Every interception, every fumble is scrutinized, and the stakes have never been higher. This season is make or break for Lamar Jackson. Will he prove his critics wrong, or will he once again fall short when it matters most? Josh Allen, the relentless pursuit. Josh Allen is a force of nature. His arm strength, mobility, and ability to make jaw-dropping plays have made him one of the most feared quarterbacks in the league. But despite all his talent, there's one thing missing: a Super Bowl ring. Allen's playoff struggles are no secret, and the pressure to deliver a championship to Buffalo is mounting. He's come so close only to fall short, and with each passing season, the expectations grow heavier. Allen isn't just fighting his opponents, he's fighting the weight of history, trying to bring the Lombardi Trophy to a franchise that's been starved of glory for decades. Can he finally get over the hump, or will the pressure prove too much? The weight of expectations for Mahomes, Jackson, and Allen, the pressure isn't just external, it's internal. They know that being considered elite in the NFL isn't just about racking up stats, it's about winning championships. The road to the Super Bowl is brutal, and every loss is magnified. These quarterbacks aren't just playing for wins, they're playing for legacy. The expectations placed on their shoulders are enormous, and the scrutiny is relentless. Every game is a referendum on their greatness, and there's no room for error. As we look ahead to the rest of the season, the question remains who will rise to the occasion. Will Mahomes continue to reign supreme, or will Jackson or Allen finally break through and claim their place at the top? The NFL is a league of elite talent, but only one quarterback can lead their team to the ultimate prize. The pressure is on, and the stakes have never been higher. The battle for supremacy among these elite quarterbacks is far from over, and the journey to the Super Bowl will define their legacies.